Welcome to the University of the District of Columbia Foundation Week of Giving, where tonight we are focusing on the College of Arts and Sciences. My name is Fo Palmer Murphy, a proud graduate of the prestigious University of the District of Columbia College of Arts and Sciences, where I serve as the Director of Alumni Affairs. It has been an incredible 3 nights of virtual fundraisers for each college and school. We are so excited to have with us Dean April Massey, who will provide an overview of the College of Arts and Sciences, their programs and initiatives, and Mr. Rodney Trapp, the Vice President for University Advancement. For the first time, the university is using this virtual space to inform our family, our friends, and alumni of everything that we've been doing during COVID, trying to keep our friends and family updated, but also engaged. We are very happy to have had all week so many people join these events. There's been a great deal of Firebird pride expressed in the chat, and I'm going to ask you, please, let's keep that going. If we have any alumni of CAS, staff and faculty, please, can you hashtag the year that you graduated, hashtag the department that you represent in CAS in the chat. You definitely want to keep the energy going, and definitely this is a fundraiser. So we'll place in the chat the donation link. You did see it scrolling on the screen. We really appreciate your support. It provides impact and it provides hope. It helps us to retain students. It keeps them encouraged. It keeps them enrolled. And from the bottom of my heart, before we proceed in any other way, I want to say thank you to everyone who supported us so far. Thank you for being with us tonight. I know that you could be anywhere else, not really sure in this COVID condition, but we are so happy that you decided to log in and be a part of UDC Foundation's Week of Giving. Today, CAS Day of Giving. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Dean April Massey.
Hello, thank you, Ms. Palmer. Good evening. I'm April Massey. I'm the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences at UDC, and I want to welcome you to this 2021 Day of Giving. This annual event provides us an opportunity to gather and to speak to you directly about all of the good that defines the College of Arts and Sciences and provides our students a distinctive and competitive educational experience. Across the next hour, I will work with Vice President Trapp and Director Palmer to offer a comprehensive snapshot of the College of Arts and Sciences at UDC and allow you glimpses of the extraordinary opportunities we are providing students, faculty, staff, and community partners. I hope you enjoy learning more about the college, our story, and I hope that in hearing the story, it reminds you of the college's meaning in your life or in the life or lives of someone or someone's important to you, and that in hearing that, it makes you want to strengthen, renew, or initiate your partnership with us. I'm going to ask Ms. Watson. Camille Watson is the Director of Partnerships in the College of Arts and Sciences, and she's assisting me this evening. So Ms. Watson, if you would share your screen and we'll start. We have a PowerPoint slide presentation that I'm going to narrate us through just to give you an opportunity to not only hear about the college, but see a little bit about who we are. So we can go to the next slide. When you think about how we stand on our mission. The mission statement for the College of Arts and Sciences, I've summarized it here. The College of Arts and Sciences offers high quality, affordable education that prepares our graduates for immediate entry into the workforce, next levels of education, specific professional roles, and living and lifelong learning in a complex global environment. Our graduates are scholars, leaders, and activists who are prepared to live and work in the multi-ethnic and technological society that is the 21st century. We offer a variety of high demand programs maintain welcoming academic and social environments, and promote an environment characterized by cooperation and communication. By vision, we endeavor to be an inclusive space that builds on the principles of diversity and multiculturalism and equity, while respecting the ideals of cultural pluralism. Our programs are responsive to and reflective of the constituencies of the District of Columbia and provide models for translating the interactions and problem-solving work of our students, faculty, staff, and community partners to the global world. In the College of Arts and Sciences, we strive to be a place of understanding and continuous dialogue regarding the concepts of inclusivity, affinity, and intersectionality. Within CAS, diversity represents a broad set of continua of orientation, origin, perspective, and social context. We consider age, generation, race, ethnicity, socioeconomic status, religion, health, experience, nationality, gender identity, sexual orientation, ability, language, dialect, education, and experience. So who are we by the numbers? So when we think about the members of the college community, we're 1,000 plus students strong. So 1,000 plus students have declared majors that rest under the programs of the College of Arts and Sciences. We are 200 plus faculty, staff, and staff members strong. We have about 116 full-time continuing faculty members, but annually, by semester, we have at least 100 adjuncts who join our ranks to provide specific expertise in our classrooms. Our community partners eclipse 100, and we have partnerships that cross the city and the surrounding metropolitan area. We are 5 generations of community members, so our students go from silence to Z's. We also cross almost every ward of the district. I think we're just 1 ward shy of the 8. We are represent several states in the United States, and we represent many countries around the world. We are multilingual and multicultural. We come seeking opportunity as learners, teachers, scholars, leaders, experts, servants, and activists. Our programs, if Ms. Watson would scroll our programs list, we are 24 programs strong. We educate across the arts and sciences, social and behavioral sciences, behavioral health sciences, education, and humanities. Many of our programs are professionally accredited, recognized, or approved, including our American Chemical Society recognized chemistry baccalaureate program. Our partners include a wide swath of community organizations, including the District of Columbia public and public charter schools. Our partnerships support students in internships and scholarships, and also help us transition them immediately to jobs. They allow us to take the value of the college into the community and to be of service to our neighbors. We screen hearing and map vacant properties. We provide expert testimony. We support beauty salons and barbershops as resources of community health. We tell stories of land loss and cancer prevention. We build networks that support literacy through community writing centers, and we create public art that enlivens communities and provides spaces of beauty, respite, and reflection. So we are a dynamic community, and I'm going to talk a little bit about who we are now. We are traditional in the ways that are important for our students. We absolutely embrace the hallmarks of arts and sciences education, but we're also a completely contemporary enterprise. We're committed to growing knowledge and skills that meet students where their interests are now, where the needs of their families and their communities are now. Across the following slides, I'm going to highlight for you just a few of the really exciting things that are happening in the college now. Over the next 60 days leading up to graduation, we will have more than 20 events. I'm going to highlight 10 of them for you. Now there are 2 that actually occurred today. So if Ms. Watson would roll to our next slide. So today we actually had a speaker on campus for our chemistry speaker series. The important thing about this series is that it is run completely by students, and they reach out to alums, but they also use the networks of alums to bring in speakers from around the country, and virtual world allows us to bring people in really from around the world now. But individuals who are close to them in age, so they feel more like peers than maybe teachers, but who have done the most extraordinary things across the sciences. And so Dr. Butler joined us earlier today and provided a very riveting talk around not just what she does now, but her path to that place. And the series is intended to help students understand what their possibilities are. And you hear that again and again at UDC, your pathway to possible. And so this series is actually making that connection for students in real ways, in real time. We, as a community in the college, wanted to think about how we could better support each other through all that the pandemic has brought to us. And so a conversation in one of our meetings, we had staff and faculty members who came together and said, I think that there's an opportunity to do a CARE initiative that allows faculty, staff, and students in the college to lead sessions around practices that are actually supporting their emotional, physical, social well-being, and that they wanted to be able to share those practices with other members of the community. So you will see that we have one that is actually going on simultaneous with this presentation. And we have one, the last presentation will be April 28th. Those opportunities are open to any member of the college and any member of the extended college community, including our friends and partners in the neighborhoods that sit around us. So if you go to our website, the www.udc.edu/CAS, you will see in the revolving box that the Community of Care initiative is always there. And there's a link that will allow you to sign into any of the sessions. The eSTEM lecture series is a grant sponsored series under a grant by Dr. Jillian Went. And the speaker series aligns primarily with STEM women and serving as a mentoring network and pipeline to bring more women, and particularly women of color, into the STEM fields. And so Dr. Wilson is the scheduled speaker. She's actually speaking right now for today, 5:30 p.m. But Dr. Witt brings in a high profile set of speakers from around the country who provide engaging opportunities around path, how they were mentored or not, and other supports that will allow young women, particularly young women of color at the institution, to find real support for their interest in STEM careers. This is a really important one for us. It's going to happen tomorrow and it's open to the public. I hope everyone's familiar with the genius of the writer Bernice Mcfadden. Ms. Mcfadden joins us tomorrow. She'll do some reading from her most recent book, Praise Song for the Butterflies. We'll also have some conversation and Q&A, and she'll read some from the book. She is she is one of the most important storytelling voices of the 21st century, an amazing creative writer. We are honored to have her with us tomorrow. There's a link on our website for you to sign up. It's completely free, open to any person in our public. We hope that members of our community will join with us tomorrow at 6 p.m. to hear from Ms. Mcfadden. One of the things that we undertook a couple of years ago, and it was born out of requests and just observations in our community, was the need to support women who were aspiring to positions of leadership. And so we actually have 2 initiatives that focus on the needs of women in terms of supports for their leader interest. And at the faculty and staff level, Dialogues in Leadership, Her Story, is the initiative that's been in place 4 years, Her Story, Just 2. So we run this in cohorts annually in the spring. We have a cohort model that is for co-ed classes, but we also have the Her Story model that is designed for women to have a space that allows them to gather and to meet with women leaders from around the country. We bring in 8 leaders across the spring semester, and they sit at the knee of that person and gain insights in terms of path and the instruction of path. And it's instructive in helping them to shape understanding of what their path means for what their future may possibly be. And so we've had 41 individuals actually come through and complete Dialogues in Leadership. We have a class of 11 now, and they will finish on April the 2nd. Their culminating event will be a writer's workshop with the critically acclaimed writer, Merida Golden. Fluid and Dynamic series was created by the Associate Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Jeffrey Fleming. Jeffrey created the Fluid and Dynamic series after watching faculty members in the college kind of struggle to find a place to kind of incubate their professional products, their writings, their presentations. And so he created a forum for that. And he runs the forum across the academic year. And he has never been without a waiting list of faculty members who use the opportunity to present their research interest, their finished products to their peers and receive feedback. And so it's been a highly successful platform produced within the college to support the needs of faculty members. And faculty members have sometimes brought in their student researchers to be co-presenters with them. The social work program, undergraduate social work program at UDC, has been very active in creating an opportunity for practitioners around the region to have access to high quality continuing education opportunities that also provide continuing education units, which are a requirement of maintaining a social work license. And so their next symposium is April the 30th, and it's timely in terms of topic, race, gender, and COVID-19. And it is open to the public. The link is embedded in the banner, and CEU credits will be available for attendees who need them to maintain professional license. I talked to you just a few minutes ago about 2 initiatives under the header of women's leadership. I talked about the one that is directed at faculty and staff. Hear Me Lead is a women's leadership initiative that was developed for students. We partnered with the American Association of University Women some years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, and secured a small grant, actually 2 years of successful grant funding that allowed us to plant the seed of an advocacy space, a kind of incubation space for advocacy for women students on our campus. And their final performance will be virtual this year, as it was last year. In prior years, we meet downtown at 14th and V at the Busboys and Poets on that iconic stage. And our poets, it's a choreo poem of sorts. They bring together their interest and their skill as creative writers, spoken word artists specifically, and they marry that with their commitments to causes and concerns personally and in their communities. And they weave that into a story that they present. And so this will be done virtually. It's open to the public. We welcome your support of the initiative, but more importantly, the students. This is a credit bearing opportunity for them. So it follows them on transcript, and they're able to describe to potential employers or graduate school admissions representatives their participation in this very important vehicle for developing voices of advocacy. Honors convocation. Honors convocation is really important for us because we've expanded 4 or 5 years ago, we decided, it really is important to be a really good student, to get the best grades and to qualify for Dean's List and high honors and highest honors, top student. But what if you're not a highest honors kind of a student or even employee, but you show up every day and you work really hard and you're value adding? So we expanded the slate of categories that we honor, and we honor not just students at this event. It's inclusive of every category of person in the college. So we honor faculty and staff as well as students during this time. And we honor people not just for exemplary academic performance, but we honor for leadership and service and for scholarship and for community engagement. And so we'll have community partners present as well. Again, it's virtual. Dr. Potter has committed to joining us, our CAO. President Mason usually is with us, and so we're hoping that his schedule will allow him to be with us on the 27th as well. But you are all welcome to be there in support of students who are the next generation of leaders and activists and scholars and experts in the District of Columbia and beyond. And so last but not least, pandemic forced us to look inward. It forced us to think about, do we show up as we believe we do in our classrooms, in our advising sessions, in our homes when we're preparing for our classes? How do we know that the good that we believe that we take into our classrooms is really good from the perspective of our students? And if it's really good, how are we sharing that with our peers and helping our colleagues to use some of the findings that we have around what really works well to enhance their classrooms too? And so we decided that, this would be a good opportunity. It's a good time to explore our footprint on the national stage of sharing around the scholarship of teaching and learning, how you talk about and understand what really happens in a classroom, what you give, what students get, what they give you, what you take from it, and then give back to them. And so on May the 6th, we will be launching our inaugural Teaching Learning Roundtable, which is a national conference open to academics from around the world, really, to share a day with us around teaching learning practices. And all of the presenters are faculty members in the College of Arts and Sciences, and they are presenting on ideas, scholarship, pedagogies that they've been working through, evolving, recreating across this academic year. And so we have 18 presentations that include a plenary and a keynote, but within the body of the program, there are 16 concurrent 4 rounds of concurrent sessions, four, not quite 4 each, but 16 sessions total. And we're going to do a full day of sharing the best of our teaching learning practices. We have now 125 registrants, and we're about 40 days out. Those registrations represent a quarter of all HBCUs around the nation. So it says that people are hungry for a platform, faculty members are, to meet and share with other faculty members to make sure that what they do in their classrooms with students is absolutely the best that they can offer. And when they looked at the program, and it was just a preliminary program that we sent out to start the registration process, they saw real value there. And so we're really excited about really planting the university, the college, in this way on a platform, a national stage around work that we've been doing. And now we're going to take it to a place that we can share, invite feedback, and then we're going to institutionalize this for the college as an annual event of sharing that will highlight our faculty members, highlight the value of the institution, provide some supports for our colleagues around the nation. So, and now you're wondering, well, she told us all of that. What is this? Because now I want you to think about, how can you help? How can you help the mission of CAS? And we need a couple of things from you. We need you to be volunteers for us. We need you to participate with us when we have programs. We need you to donate. We do need you to donate, but we need more than money from people. We need volunteers. We need participants. But we also need your feedback. We need you to let us hear from you. We need your expertise in mentoring relationships with our students. We need your expertise on advisory boards for our programs. The feedback that you give us, it helps shape the offerings that we put out in a futuristic way. When we think about, what do our alums say that they wish they had gotten that they didn't get? When they're now working in their fields, what do they hear from employers that they didn't experience with us? What do they see their colleagues coming from other institutions bringing that they didn't get from us? So we're looking to hear from you to shape how we grow and make our programs better. We want to hear your stories of success because they help us know how we should market our programs. When you attend our events, that reinforces a sense of academic community because you encourage our students and you lead by example that learning truly is lifelong. Your financial donations, they hold doors open and they confirm to our students that they are being seen by you and that they are being supported by you. So why the CAS Dean's Opportunity Fund? I tell you, financial aid covers a lot of things. It doesn't cover everything. If you're a working student, you have income that covers some things, but it doesn't cover everything. So the CAS Dean's Opportunity Fund has really become a gap fill. It's a gap fill when financial aid and other sources of income fall short. It's become a petty cash drawer of sorts for us for small, immediate, concrete needs like books and transportation and costs associated with participating in internships and practica. And that includes clothing and food. Students often have sufficient financial aid to pay tuition and fees, but they may not have anything left over. And if you get a new internship and it requires you to show up dressed in a certain way, and you don't necessarily have those things, that can be a barrier to participation. And so we use this fund to relieve those barriers to opportunity. This fund also is a lifeline for students who aren't eligible for other forms of support. And there are categories of students that aren't eligible for federal financial aid or other opportunities for support in the university. And sometimes they just need small gifts of cash, grants of cash that allow them to travel to and from home to the university, to have the ability to bring a lunch so that they can, and these are things that we help with. I sent a challenge out to my colleagues in CAS on Monday, and I said that I wanted them to organize their professional and personal friends around pods for giving. You all know that this is the 170th year anniversary for the university. So I asked them, I'm not asking anybody to give $170 or even $70. But you probably can organize a group of family members or friends, and together you can come up with $170. And so people got to work and they started organizing and inviting friends and coworkers and family members to give. And remember, all of this goes directly to students. There's no middle person with an opportunity fund. The money comes in, students identify that they have a need, they make the request of us, we evaluate, the money goes out. And so I'm really grateful to my CAS family because my goal was to come into this conversation with you today at 6 o'clock with at least, we set a goal of $10,000 for today. And my goal was to come into this conversation with at least half of that already in the foundation so that we could immediately start to push money out. But we could also say to you, we're not reaching out beyond the walls of the institution and expecting that you do something that we will not. I understand my responsibility to be a donor to my students. And I impressed upon my colleagues that they should come to understand a sense of responsibility to support students financially. And the foundation is the way that that should be happening. And so the goal was to come into this conversation with at least half of the $10,000, $5,000. Before we signed on with you today, we had already reached $7,445. So we're just $65 shy of $7,500. I am certain that before the night is out that we will eclipse our $10,000 goal. And I am certain that by the end of this week that we will move close to, I'm hoping, about $12,500. That doesn't maybe sound like a whole lot of money to you guys, considering what I just described we use the money for. But you'd be amazed when students come to us and ask to access money through this fund, they don't want $2,000 or $3,000. Sometimes they need just $100. $100 can make a difference in terms of transportation costs being covered. Or, you know what, usually I'm able to structure my day, students will say to me, so that I eat before I leave home and my classes end and I get home and I can have my next meal. But now that I'm in my student teaching placement, I have to be able to eat at the school. And I don't have the means to make that happen. And they ask for very small amounts of money. And so $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 really can carry us across a year of small grants and financial gifts to students around those kinds of needs. And so I just want to highlight a couple of donors really quickly. I don't know where I am with time, but there are a couple of people that without fail, they come through for the college again and again and again. And it's because of people like this, they model generosity that then grows. And when people see the same 3 people, the same 10 people, the same 30 people, always stepping up first, stepping up with the largest sums, stepping up again and again, it really does begin to grow a culture of giving. And so on Saturday, I think it was either Saturday or Sunday when Mr. Trapp and Ms. Palmer released the announcements for the giving days, I thought as the dean of the college, I would be the first giver. And so, you know, I got busy with my day, and later I checked my inbox, and the announcement posted, I'll just say that it was 1 p.m. By 1:05, the first gift had already been made. And that giver, Dr. Alfred Taylor, has been an amazing, amazing friend and supporter of the university, of the college, just lifelong. He has the most amazing life story. He and his wife, high school sweethearts. His wife was an alum of the institution. His son attended the University of the District of Columbia. He has a music scholarship named for his late son. He recently, the last year, maybe a year or so now, lost his wife. And so he made the donation for this giving opportunity in the name of his wife. It's just the most amazingly beautiful story, but it also just reinforces that the things that are important to us, we make a way for in terms of our support. Another person who has just been near and dear to the heart of the college. She was the dean of the college, a long-serving dean of the college, also served the university as a provost, Dr. Rachel Petty. And so, you know, I'm looking at the fund and, you know, wanting it miraculously to grow, and walked away from my computer to get something. I come back and there's a major gift, and it's Dr. Petty. And again, she supported faculty development training. She supported scholarships for students. She, with her late husband, just made a generous donation to the college, but she also made a generous donation to the School of Engineering and Applied Sciences under her husband's name, because he was an engineer, and there were some things that she would have wanted to represent him in NCs, and so she did that. But we also got gifts, and I know I can't name everybody. We got gifts from some of our newest faculty hires, people who just brand new to the institution, but they have dug in, and they are living the CAS experience, the UDC experience. They have come to understand, know, and love the students that they teach, and they want to be supportive. Dr. Leah Claiborne, Dr. Sulaire Rose, Dr. Miftahul Kareeb. And then there are longstanding people who just answer the call every time. Dr. Schroyer, Dr. Howe, Dr. Sneed, Dr. Flowers, Dr. Kingberry. And so I say these names not because I'm trying to highlight people, and there are a number of other people on the list that I'm not naming. I say these names because I think it's really important for the community to know we're not just asking you to give to us. We understand our responsibility to dig deep and also support our students. And the college has responded in the most amazing way. I could not be prouder of my colleagues. There's another person that I want to highlight. She's a DC resident, and she's been with the university in administrative capacity for some time, and she just loves UDC. And that's Miss Charlene Ridley. And Miss Ridley was one of the first people. I think she was the second donor. That's pretty amazing to me, that people at a time when COVID can allow you to just kind of pull out, right? You can say, not even that you don't have the money, but you just don't know what's going to happen with the world, and you're not sure if you should spend your money. But small gifts, $20, $25, $50, $75, $100 can be life-changing, barrier removing, open a gateway to the finish line for our students. So I know that some people will say, you know what, I'm not sure about the CAS Dean's Opportunity Fund. What other opportunities might you have for me to give? And so Ms. Watson's gonna put a list up of some other areas where we have opportunity to support. STEM endowed scholarship. Dr. Carolyn Kuzan, in the name of her sister, Barbara Evans Holmes, is a lovely opportunity to support students in STEM. Our Big Read initiative, which is going to be how we sponsor Ms. Mcfadden tomorrow night, is really about reading across the curriculum and reading across the lifetime, and finding ways to ensure that books are in the hands of our students, in their homes, and they become a part of lifestyle. We have a scholarship fund. We have a number of named funds for specific disciplines, math and political science and education, music. You can scroll to the next slide, Ms. Watson. Speech pathology, social work, rehabilitation counseling. I think that I have them all. So I'm hoping that the conversation today gives you a well-defined kind of snapshot of who we are in CAS. I'm very grateful for the time today. I'm very grateful for Mr. Trapp's vision and Ms. Palmer's vision. And I want to leave out Mr. John Smith, who I know, and Ms. King, who I know have been a part of this, for making this opportunity available to the deans to really not just ask for something, but to tell you about us. I think that we don't have a lot of, we don't make a lot of opportunities to tell you about us, the good things that we're doing, the ways that we're engaging, and the ways that we want to be engaged with you. So as much as this is about an opportunity to invite your giving, it is as much about an opportunity to invite your partnership, your participation in our events that are designed for you as much as they are for our students, to invite your participation in our classrooms and on our advisory boards, our governance structure, our community activism. And so I just want to say thank you so much. We stand together, united in service to our students. Your donations are an investment in their futures. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dean Massey. I really appreciate hearing about all of your great programs and initiatives. And as you were talking, calling out names, I'm just overwhelmed and just swept with so many fond memories of my time in CAS. I graduated in 2005, and I'll tell you, it was tough. Part-time, working full-time. I'm an Army vet. I was using my VA loan. It seemed like everything I was doing to try to pay this bill, and understand my goal was graduate debt-free. So I had tuition management going, but it was my awesome professors who encouraged me and kept me afloat, putting before me so many opportunities that kept me encouraged and enrolled. So my professors were Leslie Richards, Walter Redmond, Professor Halu, Alkowitz, just a cadre of caring individuals who wanted to see their students succeed, just really pushing me. I was not allowed, according to Dr. Walter Redmond, to bring him C work. Like he would give it back to me, like this is not good enough. And I really appreciate him then. I still keep in contact with him. I appreciate him now. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Rodney Trapp. He's going to bring greetings and just further share what you've already shared with us, Dean Massey.
Thank you, Fo, and thank you, Dean Massey, for, this incredible presentation. I'm so excited. One, because this is the first time that we have activated the different schools and colleges to be a part of the Week of Giving. And we didn't give you all a lot of time to put programs together, but all of you have really come through with a very exciting, engaging, educational presentations about your various schools. And I don't know, CAS they've showed up and they've showed out. And I am just thrilled to see the growth within the College of Arts and Sciences, the growth in philanthropy. Dr. Massey didn't mention it. It was on the screen, but she herself is modeling the type of philanthropy that we're talking about here. Last year, she established a new scholarship fund for speech language pathology. And so she is now one of our scholarship donors at the UDC Foundation. So please do support this incredible, incredible college. Murthy will be putting on the screen the link to the webpage for making a donation. It is also listed in the chat room. So please give as much as you can afford to give. Give often. This is a beginning. It's not a one-time deal. So these links, these pages will be evergreen. And so there's an opportunity for you to give throughout the year. As Dr. Massey indicated, there are lots of needs, and the needs, they keep coming. And so the more we get, the more we're able to provide and support the students. And so, oh, and by the way, you're over I just checked the totals, and you're 7,615 so far. And that doesn't include any offline contributions, because there have been several people who indicated that they're sending in a check. And so we expect those totals to add up, and we have no doubt that CAS will hit the $10,000 goal that is set. So again, thank you, everyone. Continue to support this particular school and college, and we look forward to counting the money at the end of the week.
Thank you so much, Mr. Trapp. And that's right, I totally forgot. I did receive calls today of people asking me, can I send a check? You know, I'm not online. I don't use these online things. And I'm like, of course. So thank you for that reminder. We do have an opportunity for you to send in checks or money orders. I've received those questions as well. If you go to CAS's donation page and scroll to the bottom, the information is there. The credit card payments, that's at the very top of the page. But we do provide the instructions and the address for you to send your checks. We really appreciate everyone who has given so far. I cannot tell you the impact and hope your donations provide. And as a graduate of CAS, I remember one of the donors paid for one semester, 1 year for me, paid for 3 classes and all my books. I cannot begin to tell you the weight that was lifted off of my shoulders that particular semester. I was bartending, working full time. Again, I was using my GI Bill, and the goal was graduate debt free. I can do this. It just meant sacrifices. But again, the awesome faculty and staff always thought of me, always put these opportunities before me. They also provided for me professional travel. They sent me to the American Sociological Association conference in Chicago, paid for the whole thing. All I had to do was get leave from my boss. That was it. And so please know that your investment today, they impact leadership throughout the District of Columbia, throughout Firebird Nation, throughout the world. And as a graduate, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, because I remember that experience. I really do. Dean Massey, did you have any closing remarks?
Before we get closing remarks, okay. let me add that as a donor, once you donate to the foundation, you'll be subscribed in our newsletter, which comes out twice a year. And I also want to thank Dr. Massey for contributing to the newsletter. We featured the Dialogues and Leadership program in the spring issue. Also, there were 2 students in CAS, maybe 3. I know Kyla Woods, political science major, was featured, and 1 alumnus, Deidre Battle, who was a music major and is a classical vocalist, was also featured in the newsletter. So the newsletter is available on our website, but as a donor, you get a hard copy. We do still send out hard copies of newsletters, and you'll get that in the mail. So thanks.
That's wonderful. Thanks for that. Dean Massey?
So I just wanted to again say thank you to you and Vice President Trapp, Mr. Smith and Ms. King, because I think that this has just been a wonderful week of highlights for the university. And I think that the money is a wonderful part of the equation, but I think that just the way that you created the platform. And I'm just very grateful for that. In Dean's Council today with Dr. Potter, Dean Shetty talked about just how grateful he was the first, he led us off the week on Monday, and just how grateful he was for the opportunity. And he is just hoping that this becomes kind of institutionalized as an annual event or semi-annual event. And so I just want to say thank you. But I also would be remiss if I didn't point out that in my office, there were so many people that stepped up and not just gave, but just created kind of a circle around me to ensure that we touched on all the points. I want to say a hearty thank you to Dr. Jeffrey Fleming, the Associate Dean, Ms. Wilma Thompson, the Office Manager, Mr. Terry Best, Ms. Camille Watson. I mean, Camille and Professor Rookman Nyangoda. I said, these are the things I want on slides. And then they made the slides happen for me and just kind of delivered them to my inbox. Ms. Tyshana Sales, she's been with us just 1 year, but she created a giving pod with her sister in Connecticut. And they were one of the highest level donors. She's been at the university just 1 year, but has been so moved by what the mission in action, the mission on paper is one thing, but when you see our mission made actionable, it changes the way you understand what the University of the District of Columbia does for lives. And so I didn't want to go, and the chairs in the college, Dr. Schroyer, Dr. Song, Dr. Howe, Dr. Burton, they're simply amazing people. Dr. Angela Bullock, she also reached out to some friends in Atlanta and different places, created a pod, brought in a significant amount of money. Dr. Michelle Chapman in Crime, Justice, and Security. So the list goes on. I know it's a lot of people, and I know I'm forgetting people, but I think that when people, at a time when the world is stressed, stop and say, I have a responsibility to support, it's not the college, they're supporting students. And in supporting students, they're supporting the city. And so I'm just very grateful.
Thank you, Dean Massey, and I too share in that gratitude because you're right. This is a very challenging time for us and for those who were able to give. I can't even begin to express the impact. Our students are bold, they are courageous, they are beautiful, and they are soaring because of donors like you. This is our 170th anniversary. The University of the District of Columbia is the second oldest HBCU in the nation. And we're so happy to be the public institution in a sea of private educational systems of higher learning in the District of Columbia. We're also the land-grant university here in Washington, D.C. We wear many hats, and your contributions help us in so many ways. Week of Giving will continue until Saturday, so you still have time to contribute. The links are on each college and school's website, and you can find them on UDC Foundation's website. Click Impact. You can always contact us here at UDC Foundation. We would love to hear from you. We would love to engage you and partner with you. If you're interested in being a mentor, maybe you can offer a paid internship job when our students graduate, or maybe job shadowing. We would love to hear from you. My name is Fo Palmer Murphy, the Director of Alumni Affairs. I've been joined by Dean April Massey and Mr. Rodney Trapp. Thank you so much for being with us. Please continue to stay safe. Good night, everyone.